All right, let's dive into the psychology of comic book villains and what makes them so compelling, all while weaving in their corresponding heroes. The beauty of great villains like the Joker, Thanos, Magneto, and Loki is that they often mirror the heroes they oppose, challenging not only the heroes, but also the audience's perceptions of morality and justice. Take the Joker and Batman, for instance. The Joker isn't just a madman, he's a reflection of Batman's own darkness. Where Batman is driven by a desire for justice, the Joker is driven by chaos, a perfect foil that forces Batman and us to confront what justice really means. Both characters face trauma, but their paths diverge significantly. Batman uses his pain to prevent others from suffering, while the Joker embraces his to inflict chaos. This stark contrast is what makes their battles not just physical, but psychological. The Joker's actions often force Batman to question his own moral code, blurring the line between heroism and vigilantism. Now, consider Thanos and the Avengers. Thanos isn't just some cosmic conqueror. He's a character with a complex ideology. His belief in balance through destruction makes us question our own definitions of right and wrong. Unlike the Avengers, who represent unity and hope, Thanos is willing to take on the role of the villain to achieve what he believes is a greater good. His actions prompt the Avengers to reflect on their own willingness to make sacrifices and question whether the ends truly justify the means. Thanos' vision of a perfect universe challenges the Avengers to defend their flawed one, making us ponder on the price of peace and the morality of drastic actions. Then there's Magneto and the X-Men. Magneto is not just a typical villain, he's a survivor, a character shaped by suffering and injustice. His militant stance for mutant rights stands in stark contrast to Professor Xavier's more peaceful approach. Both Magneto and Xavier experienced discrimination, but while Xavier believes in coexistence, Magneto sees force as the only answer. This dichotomy makes us reflect on how different responses to oppression can be, and whether there's ever a justified reason for violence in the fight for rights. Magneto's struggle is deeply personal, making him a sympathetic villain, as his actions, however extreme, are grounded in his desire to protect his kind. He forces us to confront the ethical dilemma of by any means necessary versus peaceful resistance. Lastly, Loki and Thor offer a rich tapestry of brotherhood, jealousy, and redemption. Loki isn't simply a mischievous trickster. He's a character defined by his feelings of inadequacy and his desire for recognition. In contrast, Thor represents the ideal hero, noble, strong, and favored. Their dynamic showcases how perceived favoritism and neglect can drive someone towards villainy. Loki's actions often stem from a desire to prove himself, making him a tragic figure rather than a purely evil one. His complex relationship with Thor, filled with betrayal and occasional alliance, mirrors the internal conflict between seeking approval and forging one's own path. Loki's constant battle with his identity and the love-hate relationship with his brother Thor adds layers to his character, making him one of the most relatable and enduring villains.